Can y'all hear this? I'm not remote at. Didn't have poker playing. This is my song, y'all. I'm gonna just wait to see if anybody up in here. If nobody come up in here, it's cool. And then I'm gonna tell y'all a little bit about my life as JadeBakerIman. Jade. After my song. Shake it off, shake it off. We're gonna get into a lot today. So nah. And you already know, Craig. Two questions for 505, 3 questions for 888, and 5 questions for 1111 to my email at JadeBaker729@gmail.com. And just look up MfireTarot on YouTube. I'm gonna talk a little bit about you, talk about my tarot journey, talk about just where I'm at, my mindset, some things I'm going through. And in the meantime, I'm just vibing to this song, getting the energy right, waiting for people to join us. If anyone joins us, it's cool. If no one doesn't, I'm still gonna get my story. And I think that's one thing I'm learning right now, is that it's important for us to all share our story. You know what I mean? As much as we think it's not important or it's not worse, because some people are like that. It's okay. It's healing that goes along with that. But your story doesn't have to be better or worse or whatever it is. It's your story, and we should be sharing them. So I'm going to share mine because I feel like it's very relevant to what other people are experiencing nowadays too. So I'm going to just go real quick through this because I do have to do Tuesday Tarot Tea at... this is very vulnerable for me to be talking, and I'm just in a vulnerable setting. Just spill it out. I don't know. JadeBakerIman, but who am I? For fucking on my flow. But no, I can never. Basically, who am I? I'm a 21-year-old artist, filmmaker, producer, young person. I would feel that is on the rise of breaking generational curses in my family, breaking cycles, experiencing this lifetime for the fullest that I could possibly do it, so that I do not have to return here. And I'm a very astrological person, so I'm all into the astrology. I'm learning. I got my crystals over here. I got some obsidian sitting right here on the lifestyle now. Growing up, I was not so much into astrology. I think I was just more concerned about like horoscopes and shit. But I was very insecure about myself growing up. Very much insecure, very unsure of myself. I was getting bullied a lot. People would tell me I was bullied. People used to treat me all kind of ways, tell me I was black, tell me I was not shit, tell me I was Dookie Brown, all kind of fuck shit. And, growing up, that really played where I did not know my value, especially as a young black woman in this world where we getting snatched up every day. So, it was just hard. Angelina Roja, I hope I'm saying that right. So I'm just sharing my story a little bit. I'm gonna be real, because I've blocked these people in my life. I'm gonna share a personal part of my story, which I've seen a lot of abuse growing up, from watching my mom be in an abusive relationship, was really hard, and also going through my own personal experiences, from I'll be real, like sexual abuse to just my parents taking how I view the world. I went through a situation where I had a narcissistic parent and a person. Oh, you guys, this is so hard for me to talk about, but because this is an abusive partner. But then I watched my dad because come on YouTube, stop cutting out my videos saying I'm unstable. I'm not unstable. My connection is here. Thank you. I don't have to stop. All right. So basically, how do I say this? Mama Bear, I watched her go through an abusive relationship. It was very hard for her to get out of it because she was trying to break. Usually that person has penetrated your mind so far you feel like they make you feel like your life. And she got away, but in the meantime, while all that stuff was going on for a few years, I was growing up in my father's home and I was kind of being abused because my narcissist was upset about the connection that I believe my father and mine through. Y'all always have love for each other. Like I was a very woke, very active, and so I was always weird and different, and getting teased and whatnot for my, for my hair or how I looked or whatever. But I knew I was special. I knew that I had different little superpowers. I could just sense energy, and when you like, you even see babies do it. Like certain babies, they won't go near certain people or they cry when they're in people's arms because they can feel that energy. And I was always that type of person where I was a very empathic child, and so I was super sensitive. And I'm gonna say gullible too. Like I was very gullible regarding my father and his behavior because that's the reason why my mom and my dad separated, just because of his own unwillingness to heal his own demons or like work with them and fucking battle them shits, like your own sexual desires and whatnot. And it basically about the same age, a year older than me. So when we met, me and my stepsister, we automatically just butt heads a lot because we were both used to being the only child. And they got together, and I remember you two trying to cut me off. They will not succeed. Thank you. Bring me back my connection. It's annoying. Okay, so basically when my dad and my stepmom got together, my dad was asking me, do I like my stepmom? And I told my dad straight up, like, I got that automatically, that intuitive nudge you get when it's like when your mom be like, oh, that ain't your friend. You be like, what? That ain't my friend. But then you realize over time, like your mama was speaking facts. Like she felt the spirit. And as a child, I was very intuitive. And so I had one of these instances with my father. And I told him, like, I don't think spirituality second, they learn it through their ego first. So a lot of them are lost in their own egos, and that's why we see guys do all this fuckboy shit, and girls do it too. But girls are more innately just tapped in and in touch with what's right, what's wrong, and like even future shit, just psychic weird shit on my own personal pain and life. And she took it out a lot on me and my siblings. She was very, like, I would say she was very cruel with her words, cruel with how she mothered us. She was very narcissistic. But what cut the line with where the abuse started for me on me was when it's very fucked up, and it explains my story so well. But blame it on me. At this time when all this stuff was going on, I was probably only about 6 or 7. They're cutting out my connection. So have her own daughter's things and blame it on me. And where I was really learning about myself, and I wanted everyone in my family to be happy. I didn't want there to be problems. And I was a child, and that the problems that were going on were much bigger than me. The problems that were going on was typical baby mama drama and trying to work out and co-parenting and problems with my mom and my dad. It didn't have nothing to do with me, but I felt like a lot of things that was going on, they were my fault. You know what I mean? So I internalized a lot of pain, a lot of anger watching my parents going through stuff because I didn't know how they could heal and they could work this out. But, spirits do not know what they're doing. Sometimes being blamed for a lot of the things that were happening, but I know I didn't do it. I never did it. And I still know I didn't touch any of my sister's things. I didn't do anything bad to her. I love my sister genuinely, and I'm still in today getting closer and trying to connect with her, even though it's hard with my healing. I've taken some time to be away from all of my family members, my dad, my stepmom, and my sister, but it's just because of the amount of mask and narcissistic tendencies that they still have that they're not willing to cope and deal with, that have just kind of put me in this very, healing state, hermit mode, away from them. Sometimes you can't heal with your family. Sometimes you gotta separate yourself because you might be getting too triggered and to be too traumatized. I felt like I was a child who just went to like the police station and they was telling me to say, okay, yeah, I'm about to break this. I'm on YouTube. So pretty much this whole time I was going through this situation, it was like every new day something will pop up missing or fucked up or ripped up or torn up or something. It would be my sister's things. Never my things were touched, which I always thought was odd. And I'm like, at the same time, I'm getting blamed for all these things, but I'm a child, literally. I didn't even have a conscience yet. You don't even have a conscience until you're like 11 or some shit. And so I'm getting blamed for all these things. And I literally felt like the child or that adult who's telling him, oh, we know that you didn't do this crime, but you're going to have to go in here and say you're guilty. You feel me? You're going to have to go in here and say, you know what I mean? You did this and you're willing to take this amount of time statistic. Because, it's just that, and that's a whole other deeper topic. But that's how I felt like my stepmother really ganged up on me spiritually, and with my father too. Like, they were just so stuck in how the family looked on the outside. You didn't really know what was going on the inside, and on the inside, because they had not been dealing with their own things, my parents were taking it out on us. You know what I mean? Like, they were self-medicating through drugs and liquor and weed, not in the right way, you know what I mean? And they weren't really nasty ways, and just no kind of respect. Like, the lack of love was very much real growing up for me. And going through that experience, I did hurt through, okay? So growing up through that experience, we get our ass whooped, but how I was getting my ass whooped, y'all, it was like slavery days. Like, I'm not even gonna flex. Like, it got to the point where even my stepmom at one point, and she was the corporate the whole time. So it was like, at that moment, I feel like something happened with the energy and it shifted. And after many nights, they would keep me, like, I would literally have to whew, this is so crazy that I'm getting this all out. I would literally that shit, you know what I mean? I think at one point it got so bad that I was being so bullied spiritually and physically and emotionally. Get off of my shit, YouTube. Okay, so it got so bad that at one time, literally, they made me stay in a room by myself growing up sometimes too. Like, I wouldn't be able to usually, like, when I grew up, we moved around a lot, but whenever I was staying with my father, I just always felt this isolated energy that I was put in. Like, everybody would kind of stay away from me. And it was really hurtful because I felt like the whole reason that my stepmother did that is just because I was fucking up her family picture, or I was fucking up the way she wanted things. It was the controlling narcissistic energy. She wanted to have her favorite child, her golden goat, her scapegoat, you know what I mean? And I had to be the black sheep. I had to play that role as a child because I wasn't even in a position. How goddamn young I was at this time. Like, I was just not there, you know what I mean? And I didn't know how, saying, yeah, I did it. I just want, because I eventually started saying that I did it because that's how psychologically to be happy. And I thought maybe me complying and, saying that I did something that I didn't do would make things better. And it didn't. And the abuse got even worse. You know what I mean? So that was at a time my story. I was very hurt from it because eventually the energy shifted, and my mother said to me, like, do you want to come home with me? Do you want to go to New York with me? At the same time, she was going through an abusive relationship with her ex-baby father. So, you know what I mean, with my brothers and sisters. So, we were both experiencing, even spiritually felt it without even being told. Eventually, the information got back to her that I was being mistreated, you know what I mean? But she was unaware of it. A lot of people are still unaware of it in my family. And that's why I'm making this video today. I feel like growing up, my whole entire psyche and how I feel about myself was very much messed up because I constantly beat myself up for lying on myself and for saying that I did something that I didn't do just to make things better, you know what I mean? And it always made me look at myself differently until I really grew up and I started seeing a lot of the things that I was trying to tell my father and the different people in my life, you know, why I knew if they didn't, if basically I always prophesized after that situation as a child. I always told my things. And so it's really kind of, I've forgiven her, but it's always kind of weighed on me just a little bit that she could just, you know, not have, I know that's how she's not an empath, because real empaths can't be narcissists. And she just to this day will never admit that she's on that side from really connecting even with my sisters, because, you know, as much as they say that she says that she doesn't do it, you know what I mean? She is constantly on my dad's side of the family. If my dad is always working, so I feel like on some Cinderella shit. Like I'm the fucking girl cleaning up the fucking house, and my stepsister and my mom are like the two mean sisters, and you know what I mean? So it's like I live in a real fucking fairy tale, y'all. The shit is annoying. But, you know, so I went through all of that shit, ended up moving in with my mom. We moved to New York. My mom got away from her abusive partner. My dad continued his infidelity. Even as a child, I remember going over to when my dad and my stepmom got into a certain argument about something. The next day, he told me to not say anything to anyone, to not even tell my stepmother. And so I knew from then on that um, things were pretty. Yeah, I knew from then on that things were pretty fucked up. Crazy ass things, different women passing in and out the house. When I was just staying with my dad, and then eventually he got with my stepmom, and he was still doing a lot of side, saying he's going to work, but I don't really know if he's working. It started helping me really be able to see what was going on with my mom at the time when she up after that experience. Like I never could understand like why somebody would do. So it's always kind of been a hard notch going back with my family or mingling with them or even staying with them, because I've always had this constant fear. Um, I've always had this fear of like, damn, will this shit happening? You know what I mean? And are people gonna blame me? And so what would eventually happen is whenever my father was around, you would act very nice and like cordial. Like tell my dad told me eventually later on that he always believed that I didn't do it, but it always upset me because he's basically saying that he never, even though he believed that, he didn't vouch for me, he didn't say it. So me and my father, we always had this issue of me feeling like he chose someone over me, you know what I mean? And that was hard growing up, though, dealing with those kind of daddy issues of not only seeing my father in this infidelity constantly, but then seeing my father not even believe his own child, that karma work that he needs to do, you know what I mean? But it also showed me that over time, I had to really just believe myself, especially after my father told me that he knew I didn't do it. And I knew I didn't do it. And I suffered so much growing up trying to prove that I wasn't this person. And you know what I mean? It's like if hot ass artist plays your song who fucks with your music, and then now all your friends want to play your song. And nigga, why you now you want to support me? You know what I mean? And that's pretty much what started happening as I was growing up. Like I started slowly detaching from my father because he was unwilling to basically stand up for himself spiritually. Because after I was taking out the family, obviously all that narcissistic energies, if you know about narcissists, they usually come on herself because it starts with her father, her dad. Her inner child started beating up on my dad. You know what I mean? Um, you know, it's crazy. It's really crazy because it's like this situation happens in a way where like you guys know what I'm talking about. Like when somebody lies, you got to keep up with that lie, and it's like eventually you just get so crazy you can't even keep up with it. And so I always had this theory growing up that if she had not basically told her truth and wrote her wrongs, that I already knew I was a gifted child. I always made music growing up. That's why you can see, like, if I started the video with the song, you know what I mean? I've been writing songs since I was 8. So, but right before all that shit started happening, you know, I was listening to a lot of the spirit of different people in music and artists, and how they would go through different things, but how they would keep coming up, and I felt it, you know what I mean? And it made me a young artist too. So I was always singing and dancing a song or a poem in a book or a note. Like I was just there. Like I would just imagine myself or my family, and just certain songs I would hear when we would be at different events. I kept those things with me because I always knew I was a very sweet child, and you know, I didn't get to have that innocence. It was taken from me so early on. I knew I was innocent. And so, music was my way of going back to my true pureness. My name is Jade. Means my stepmom didn't say what she needed to say, that I knew eventually become successful. That's pretty much what happened growing up. You know what I mean? I'm now in a place where I'm doing good. I got my YouTube channel going. I'm starting to drop music. Like, things are really going well for me. Believe me, nobody will believe me. And it was a constant test to my intuition. It was a constant test to my faith. I really went through a lot of things that made me feel like I didn't even want to be here on this planet anymore. But I found a way every time, a way out. I realized the gift within me, and I realized how connected I was to the universe and everything. I realized that everything was one in love. And now it's like, music is my fucking passion, y'all. I'm an artist, and I want to share all of my stories. I want to share all the different experiences that I went through, that I talked about, and things that I haven't talked about through that. And I hope that you guys really ride with me. Film came along just because, throughout the process of me growing up, somehow I still always had I always had equipment, whether it was film equipment or music equipment. Like, I was, you know what I mean? Like doing covers. You know what I'm talking about? I was doing the little cover songs and shit, and just trying to perform on those little high school performances, open mics and shit. I threw a lot of them, but growing up, like, everything was just tested. How I saw myself was tested, whether people would believe in my mission, my journey to be this artist, to heal myself from all the come on, YouTube, get out of here. Stop cutting my video. We was doing so good. And then you try to say that my connection is unstable. It is not unstable. Creativity, all that. People who don't want me to say my shit, because that's pretty much been the issue. Is like, growing up, I didn't know how to speak up. I was silent so long, and that's because I was constantly made to believe that because whatever they was taught, and they thought that shit was okay with me, and it wasn't. You know what I mean? And I was very sensitive, so I took a lot of those things. Come on, YouTube. Let's stop playing. Just stop playing with me. I'm trying to get this working. Okay? I'm trying to get this working. So, I was very sensitive growing up, and I knew got to this point in high school where I just kind of got really stuck and got really depressed, because a lot of the things that I was preaching in my music or trying to do is like, I didn't feel like my parents or my family really supported me, because they weren't in a place. It's like, when you don't love yourself or support yourself, you can't do that for other people. So, sips tea. Sips motherfucking tea. I know my connection is not unstable, so please get y'all asses on. About to make me trip. Okay, so pretty much I just felt like I was they was trying to silence me growing up. You know what I mean? Of course, if you do something wrong to someone and you aren't willing to admit it, you don't want people to talk about it. And so I feel like that still was going on with my stepmother. Like, you know what I mean? She's just kind of ashamed of what has happened. And I told my parents growing up, I always prophesized that if some reason growing up, I was just always intuitive. Like, I ended up always being that friend who just gave everybody good advice. And like, even if I wasn't fucking using it, you know what I mean? Like, I was that friend where I would tell you, like, don't go there at this time. I don't know why. I just feel a feeling. Don't do that shit. And niggas would not do that shit. And then they'll find out like, oh shit, like so-and-so got beat up over there. I'm so happy you told me not to go do that. So I became that kind of friend that was just like, I was very open and talkative with different people. And even though I was going through a lot of shit at home, I tried my hardest to be positive. I tried my hardest to be myself. I tried my hardest to just love myself and believe in myself. And so woes of feeling like, and you can see it on YouTube, a lot of ups and downs through even my films. These our laptops, everything was doing films. And so I started realizing, like, you know what? If they're not going to listen to my story, they're going to fucking watch my story. And I was like, I'm going to be an activist. I'm going to do all this shit. I'm going to preach, because then it started connecting to even bigger shit, like trying to silence me. What, motherfucker? Nah. I was young and shit, but this fire and this light started getting ignited in me from my own passions to want to do music and stuff. And that music started leading to music videos and just getting to the child that when I would tell my mom, like, Mom, I'm special, it's okay. Like, I would tell my mom crazy shit that y'all can go ask my mom this shit right now. Like, I would tell her shit like, it's okay. I didn't know I would be a fucking tarot reader. I didn't know I would be a damn artist. or I just didn't know I would really be here in this lifetime doing the things that I was doing. And so, as a child, I just knew I was going to do big things, you know what I mean? And, I really just watched, you know, so much shit happen to me from my father. It's like everything just got internalized, and then I started showing up that same way with other people in relationships, and a lot of my relationships failed because I was looking for love in all the wrong places, you know what I mean? And where I couldn't get that needed support from my father, I was trying to find that through stimulation in other people. And you know all that just came back to, do you believe in yourself? Do you trust yourself? Do you love yourself? You know what I mean? Even if your own father wasn't there, are you gonna protect? Are you gonna provide for yourself? Or do you need an external something? And my masculine energy was very much shut growing up, and it forced me to step into my feminine energy. It forced me to use my intuition. It forced me to be kind of, you know what I mean? Kind of like nature, like Mother Nature will make this shit rain. You know what I mean? Like, it forced me to really tap to believe in myself, because nobody's going to do that shit. And it made me start to realize growing up very fast that, don't nobody give a fuck. You know what I mean? Everybody's out for themselves. But I had to realize I was just in a position where adults and people around me who didn't believe in themselves. And that wasn't something that I needed to go, hold or invest onto myself. You know what I mean? I had a father who went to school. He hasn't broken his own cycles. And my mom, in her own way, she's just starting to break a lot of her major cycles and shit. But for her, in her own way, she was stagnant for a while. And so I had to realize, trust myself as JadeBakerIman Baker, with my middle name Iman, meaning faith. You know what I mean? Having that faith, having that trust, and to allow myself to be reborn in different situations and see things from different perspectives, and you know what I mean, not hold on to resentment, but let things really grow, help me grow and be like stronger, you know what I mean, and not dwell and hold on to hurt and baggage, like to really just strengthen all my fucking intuition to the point where I became a fucking tarot reader. It was like tarot was the thing I needed. Like, I remember growing up being like, if I had a lie detector, you would lose. You know what I mean? Like, that shit would say that you were lying. That shit would say that you did it. You know what I mean? I always knew, you know what I mean? And it kind of just naturally came over time. Like, I got a little older. I went to college. I went through some relationships that really put me in some crazy ass depression. You know what I mean? Just me soul searching, doing my dark night of the soul work. And I didn't realize how much I was hurting, and you feel me? And it was because of that same feeling of, oh, they don't believe me, or nobody, I don't trust no one, I can't go to no one, like anyone to talk to, and nobody will understand me. And so somehow I started doing a lot of meditation, yoga work. That's where my spiritual awakening really started to cracking open, especially with my music. I started realizing, like, oh shit, my music has been like, I've been, oh my gosh, like, when you listen to certain artists and you be like, oh shit, like, I've been really creating my own wave. Like, I've been really, like, all of a sudden when I was going through these situations and I kept myself, come on YouTube, stop trying to take out my message. Stop trying to take out my message. So a lot of the things kept coming back to, do you trust yourself? Do you love yourself? You know what I mean? The same things I was going on with them, or they had going on with me, when I didn't realize all of the parts of me that really wasn't healed yet for me to ascend and get through. And it was just all, especially when you have people in your face making you think that you crazy, or making you think that whatever you talking about, you ain't talking about it. It's like it though it was like back. Come on, YouTube, stop fucking with me. Stop fucking with me. So it was somebody was trying me or doing something, I would psychically or empathically understand, like, nah, this person is fucking with me, you know what I mean? Or this person is doing something weird or doing something shady, you know what I mean? And I didn't really know I was trusting myself, but I didn't really know, I didn't really know where, like, after I started trusting my intuition, like later on, like the divine or spirit, I would get some type of synchronicity or see something that would show me, like, nah, you made the very motherfucking right decision. So eventually I kept watching my YouTube meditation videos, getting inspired, trying to heal, trying to soul search, trying to life path another 9. I always wanted to help people. And so I was like, okay, I know I can help people through music, but what is my story? Like, why am I this artist? What makes me this artist? What makes me so different? And I was like, wow, it's my story. It's the things that I've been through. Like y'all, the shit I've seen, I could have just not been here. Like, I could have just gave up, you know what I mean? Because this healing shit was just so hard. Like, once I started getting on YouTube and watching all the meditation videos, I started realizing just how interconnected I was with all of you guys on YouTube and just everybody in the subconscious and conscious collective that's trying to actually heal together. And I started realizing we was all trying to heal. And so from watching different astrology videos and what the planets was doing, eventually somehow I tapped in to a different frequency and I started finding tarot videos. And it's like when you tap into a different song on your playlist and you be like, oh shit, I've never heard none of these artists before. That's pretty much what happened. I was like, oh shit, I never even knew this part of YouTube existed. You know what I mean? And so it just blew my mind because it was like the first video I watched, I swear I was like, it was like maybe I was in some type of relationship or some type of situationship at the time. And it was like they were just speaking to my soul. And I was like, hold the fuck up. What? So what is this? You know what I mean? And I was like, wait, they are talking about literally my life and what I'm going through. And I started realizing, damn, we all going through the same shit, just in different ways. You know what I mean? And this is why I really want to share my story, because I want y'all to also share y'all's in the comments or whatever. And I was like, wow, we're all going through the same things. And so that was when I had my aha moment. Like, that's why I was always able to forgive my parents and stuff, because I could see things from their perspective. I think they just need to heal how they see things, aka their third eye chakra. You know what I mean? So they can see that we all seeing the same thing. And I think that's what made me be like, this is how I'm going to help. I'm going to give people clarity on their situation. I'm going to help people. My intention behind Misty Fire Tarot, basically introducing that. Fire Tarot basically came along because after watching readings and really trusting like what I was getting was for me, something told me, family was like, yo, do me a reading. You know what I mean? Even though on social media it seems taboo and all this shit, like, I'm not doing it from I always say there's good people and bad people everywhere. Like, you can go to church and find them. And back into that inner innocent child in me being like, nah, I know what the fuck I know. Don't play with me. Don't play with my soul. Don't play with my spirit. And don't play with others. Like, I really want to help people. You know what I mean? You're just smart. That's your superpower. You're clairvoyant, you're clairaudient, or whatever it is. You're telepathic. Like, we all have something. And that's what we need to start training and getting ready for with all the shit going on, is how to use our different crazy ass superpowers to help us, to advance us to the next fucking level. You know what I mean? And so growing up, I just always realized, like, damn, like, I be tapped in. You know what I mean? Like, I always be that. I told y'all, like, I always was that friend, like, who just knew not to do certain shit. And then the shit would just out, or maybe I didn't go out a certain night, and then some shit just got shot up. Like, I just knew. You know what I mean? And so I was like, man, this is my chance to show not only like I know what I'm talking about in regards to my stepmom, doing tarot readings for other people and, helping them get through certain situations. Like, every single person I've worked with has literally told me that I was spot on, that everything I told them, they honestly and truly, like, it connected with them, it resonated with them, and that my intuition was litty. And so, that should make you crazy when, you tell somebody something and you think you and then it shit come true. You be like, damn, I'm good. Like, you just know. And so I realized that was one of my gifts, besides, healing through music and, showing people my journey, or even healing through film and showing people the different phases of my life that I go through and how I get out of them. I realized, oh shit, tarot is my way of flexing my intuition. You know what I mean? Flexing the very thing that I was made to believe I shouldn't believe, the very thing that everyone else around me thought, you know what I mean? Like, I was crazy for it, for listening to, for following, you know what I mean? So that is my whole story, through the abuse, from the bullying to, you know what I mean, to relationships, through finding myself, soul searching. Tarot, Misty Fire Tarot came along because I wanted to basically help other women, other men battle it out using their spiritual gifts, using their own intuition through this spiritual experience, and win every fucking time, and learn that it's not about what we have in this life, it's about what we learn. You know what I mean? It's about how we achieve ourselves on a deeper level, on a spiritual level, connecting that 5D shit that we imagine we all lost in all down here. It's about healing, you know what I mean? It's about working through our shit so that we're not repeating history, you know what I mean? And I realized the true baby activist, humanitarian I am after getting hurt for so long. I was like, I'm not gonna let people be hurt, because I'm not, you know what I mean? I've seen it, I've been there, I've been low, I've been depressed, I've been suicidal. You know what I mean? I don't want that for people. And with everything that we have fucking going on right now, everybody needs to be fucking 100% aware of all of their talents, so we can all figure out how we can be position in a very useful way to each other to evolve fucking humanity. This is the age of Aquarius. I'm on some astrology shit now, y'all. All right, it's about rewriting history, and so you can make history whatever you want it to be. All right, so I'm gonna share my stories. Whew. So YouTube would try to cut me off right as I got all it out. Y'all are petty. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here, YouTube. Get the fuck out of here. Okay. So pretty much 555, like I said it, get the fuck out of here. I'm saying it at that time. Like big changes are coming. And you know what? Something just told me like, nah, you just gotta share your story, bro. Like, y'all, I've been literally Iman, I've been tested, and I have faith to tell y'all right now, y'all probably got way more superpowers you don't even. Not only myself tap into that deeper potential, that deeper fucking raging ass drive and determination to get it done. You know what I mean? Not only in myself, but I want to help other people do that, because there's a bigger mission that we got going on here that's all interconnected, a bigger purpose. You know what I mean? I'm trying to connect my passions to fucking my purpose, and then back to the people. And so I just feel like I know and I understand I am not the only one with a story. You feel me? One, okay? Because what I learned through my intuition is learning discernment. And when I learned through discernment, I realized that, nigga, we all gods. You know what I mean? We all creating. We're all connected to the creative, the divine. And so if we're not being conscious as the conscious community, we can stop being mindful, and we can start creating all kind of chaos and all kind of shit that you see going on in the world, because we can be cognitive dissident and stop paying attention to what's really mattering. Like, oh yeah, I know we shouldn't do that, but we're gonna keep doing that. And so those are the things I kept experiencing growing up, is a lot of people who say they healing, say they working, say they trying to do something, but they're not changing the core issues, the core problems within them fucking selves, and then the shit is reflecting all goddamn out everywhere else externally. Your internal reflection is your external, what you see externally is an internal reflection of what's going on within you. Okay? And that shit, I like what's going on around me. I don't know about that look good around you, but that's what I'm talking about. We all need to get tapped in with the same goddamn view of things. But the only way we're gonna be able to even kind of start to see how are each other. Whoa, YouTube, y'all trying to fuck with me because y'all know I got messages for days. Y'all know I got truth I'm trying to spit. We all need to be a part of and on our own spiritual journeys, but helping and receiving and sharing information along it, because right now we're going into a different new time. You know what I mean? A lot of religion and old work and shit, that shit is not relevant no more. Like, we're really rewriting history itself. And so how I'm trying to rewrite it is by doing some dope ass goddamn astrology shit and integrating that shit in everything that I do. You know what I mean? From the music, from throwing events through to, shooting different films and whatnot. I'm trying to really integrate the esoteric shit into everything, because the esoteric shit is the spiritual shit. And eventually we're about to get to a point where people not going to be in a position to be cognitive dissident and ignore that this all this shit is spiritual. Everything that we're going through. And I went through a fucking spiritual battle growing up, and I went through a physical one, but I came out winning. All right, and I'm still gonna come out winning, and I want people around me to win. People who feel to that. Yeah, you can share your story. You can do whatever the fuck you want. You can show up and show out, but just know that you're not alone. When you stop realizing that you're not alone, you never thought you would. You know what I mean? And so it's a time for us to really come together. You know what I mean? And I'm understanding that not everybody is here to come together. Some people are here to destroy, as my stepmother was. I'm sorry, I'm just saying, like, some people are literally here to hurt and destroy and fucking, like fucking Trump, fuck shit even after they've hurt, and love and be beat and still love. That's how you know you're a fucking light worker, dude. That's how you know you're a peacemaker. So let me get my crystal back. Let me get my crystal back in my hand, because maybe I'm popping off on that Aries energy. Woo! Got to get my crystal back, because I might be popping off in too much Aries energy. But pretty much, I'm just trying to say I'm coming back transformed here on J Music. I'm gonna be doing all this shit, but and if you read between the lines, I'm gonna be doing something that is deeper than just, it's deeper and bigger than just me. All right, what I came here to do here in this lifetime, insight, fucking 10-step, fucking a guideline, fucking through this goddamn matrix, like, You just know who's an agent and who's not. Y'all know you try to cut me off for that when I said that. That's what I'm trying to say. How you can get through this, how y'all can get through this fucking portal shit. Nigga, I'm trying, that's what I'm over there doing at MfireTarot. Like, let's be honest. The chosen ones already get what I'm trying to say. This shit is different, okay? And we have to stay on our game and we have to stay connected if we're gonna stay. Because otherwise, that ass might get lost in the sauce and washed up by these waves. You know what I mean? And so I'm speaking on a different level on spirituality. You know, I'm a survivor of all these things, and now I want to share them. Now I have enough experiences within me to not only use my cards. Come on, YouTube. Come on, YouTube. So I've been through a lot of stuff, and so I feel like that's why I was gifted with the ability, I would say, of prophecy, or of, just kind of not really so much psychicness, but just really being an intuitive, empathic person. So whenever people are going through stuff, they come to me for a reading, and I pray how we can heal and how we can not repeat the same cycle and not repeat doing the same shit and getting the same fucking results, how we can better ourselves and how we can evolve. You know what I mean? So the tarot cards pretty much give you the imagery, or the tarot decks give you the imagery of what's going on. They show you different peoples and pictures and stuff. Oracles pretty much show like that healing message. So it might say like work on your heart chakra, or work on this, or study or read. It's pretty much what the takeaway. Because at the end of the day, what I'm hoping to achieve with my MfireTarot page is that motherfuckers don't even have to use tarot. Motherfuckers just trust their gut so much. Motherfuckers so goddamn mindful and consciousness. We just make better decisions. We just show up better. We just transform situations. We just transmute energy. We just motherfucking consciously mindful, subconsciously to do the fucking right thing. You know what I mean? We train ourselves. And so I'm realizing that with healing, with work, it takes time, but it also takes discipline. And so I'm hoping that if I discipline myself in really other areas as well, to get whatever I need to get done. Because what I came here to do is what's bigger than me. You know what I mean? So I came here to help people heal. I came here to help people see themselves differently. I came here to help people spiritually rise up from their own ashes, rise up from the depressing, dark, shadowy sides of themselves, and see that there's a fucking light in you, baby. Okay, you're a star. We're all stars. Version of yourself through every motherfucking phase, because that all is made you now. All right. So love every part of yourself, love every phase, love every different version of you. That's what I had to learn. And I'm hoping that I'm showing you guys that through MfireTarot. It's not only how to motherfucking be 10 steps ahead, but be 10 steps ahead of these niggas, people playing mind, want to become all spiritual and shit. All right, then motherfucker, let's be goddamn ahead of the game in the 5D land too, like we are here down here in the 3D, because all this shit is goddamn spiritual. As above, so below. All right. And so my music is my 3D or is my 5D. If you want to get with the program and go over there and subscribe for 2 questions for $555, you can pay for 3 questions for $888 or 5 questions for $1111. You just got to email me, and I'm gonna drop all the information down in the block in the description below. But y'all, this is my story. Everything got motherfucking tested, but I came out in the end and I realized, nah, I know what the fuck I know. And even to the people out there who fucking watching this and gonna watch it on their own time, who have hurt me or done anything that they've done, I forgive you. But bro, I still know what the fuck I know. And I hope that y'all keep that same. A lot of shit going on crazy in this world. And I'm just trying to find a way to integrate what the fuck is going on in the 3D and how we can help these people out here mentally get their shit together. And on the 5D, in the esoteric, in the astrology, and the planets, in just a universal way, how we can be smart, because we not being smart right now. A lot of us, we stuck in a whole bunch of dumbass cycles and shit. Instagram, all this shit don't matter. None of this shit matters. I'm trying to get to the real point of all this shit. I'm trying to really get to the real point of how we can heal, how we can evolve as a people. You know what I mean? And so I don't know. You can join me on the journey or you don't have to. You know what I mean? I'm trying to make these fun Tuesday TRT. You can come up in there and smoke, drink your wine, or whatever you got to do so that you can work out whatever you need to work out. But the whole point is that we can work it out together, that we feel like that we know that we're not alone. Is to build that community around everything that I do and that other people do, and really celebrate and nurture and love each other throughout this healing process. We don't have to heal alone, dude. Like, that's what I'm learning. We don't have to feel like we're going crazy alone. We don't have to talk to ourselves like, oh my God. No, you're talking to your ancestors. You're talking to your spirit guides. You're probably, you not only join me on the MfireTarot page, but you join me on just my page of who I just am. My music, Oh, come on, YouTube. Yeah, okay. So yeah, I just hope that y'all follow me even on my journey. I'm gonna be posting a lot more music and whatnot, just showing y'all where I'm at. Hopefully we can get you out the slumps. If you got some time, you can even go listen to my last song called Shake It Up. You know what I mean? My music is literally spiritual music, and you're gonna feel it when you listen to it. So go feel it. You know what I mean? Go feel all of that. Go heal. Use it when you sad, use it when you hot, use it when you not. Like just go feed off that fucking music, you know what I mean, and bring that joy, that life back into yourself, that ammunition and that fucking strength to know that you can do whatever you fucking believe. You just have to believe it, okay? So I'm about to believe and achieve all goddamn 2020 and show y'all what the fuck is up, because there's many different sides to me. I express myself through many different ways, and I would not be bounded. I would not be controlled, and I would be not made felt like I cannot freely express myself, because this is the motherfucking age of Aquarius. And baby, this is how I'm writing history. So goodbye to the past, but hello, new future. Are you gonna join me? Are you gonna go on this new journey? Are you going to